Alright everybody, I'm going to show you how to get caught up on your weather data collection or how to check your work for the week 6 through 9 ongoing weather data collection assignment. So if you're a little bit behind or you forgot a few days or maybe you're going, oh, I didn't read the assignment and see that it's due soon, no worries because it might take a little while, but you can get caught up. So this is the assignment itself. So I got this document from It's Learning, I downloaded it, I clicked the three dots or the ellipse, I clicked download and I saved it onto my computer. Next, I'm going to make sure I thoroughly read the directions. Everything's here with some resources and an example. So I'm going to put in some week 8 data for you to start week 9. So I'm doing this on Monday the 11th, so I'm going to do a few days from this week. So each week, week 6, 7, 8, and 9, you need at least 5 days of data. If you want to do all 7, that's totally fine. You can skip around, you can do the first 5 days, you can do the last 5 days, or you can skip in between as long as you have at least 5 in each of these week 6, 7, 8, 9 panels. So to confirm, that's not 5 individual days over the course of the 4 weeks. It's going to be 5 each week. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use this website called Weather Underground to put your data in. So first, the weather factors that we need include temperature, air pressure. After the first day, I'll be able to show you air pressure change. Basically, if I'm looking at Wednesday the 6th, to know whether or not or how it changed, I'm going to look at the day before. So if this number went up since yesterday, it's going to be an up arrow. But we'll do that together. Humidity is a percentage, and the amount of moisture or humidity air can hold does depend on its temperature. And then we have wind speed, wind direction, and weather conditions. This is similar to feeling the air. What does it feel like? What's the weather doing? If it was a heavy thunderstorm that day, you could write thunderstorms, random sprinkle, and now it's nice and sunny, kind of cool. You can put any details you want in here. In fact, you can add like extra details if you want to. If you wanted to be very thorough, you could maybe even take some pictures and insert them in here, but you don't have to. So again, with all this, later in the week 10 assignment, you're going to use this week 6, 7, 8, 9 data. We're going to analyze it and look for some patterns. So you want to make sure it's accurate. So the time that you choose to take your data does not matter too much. It would be more difficult for you to analyze your data if it was completely random, so you do want to try to keep it around the same time of day, but if you haven't already, don't stress. So I'm going to pretend to put in some data, or I'm actually going to put it in for Tuesday the 5th and Wednesday the 6th. And I'm going to use Weather Underground. You can probably find historical data on any of the other websites listed in the document if you search for it, but this one's pretty easy to use, so I'm going to use it as an example. So the first thing I did was click on Havre de Grace or type in the zip code. What you will notice when you click on History over here is that it's going to give you history for Baltimore. It does not store history for individual towns, I've discovered. It wants to give you the closest major city. You're going to notice mine that says Wilmington because that's closest to where I am, but you can go ahead and use Baltimore data, so don't stress about that. So when you pull up a forecast, first it shows you where you are. This is today, the current conditions. So if you're getting today's data, you just pop this in here. This is last updated at 3:41 p.m. It's closer to 4 o'clock p.m. now. The temperature right now is 62 degrees, so I could put that in my data table for today's date. Mostly cloudy. Again, I'm looking outside. It depends on your observations too. Wind is going 3 miles per hour, and I believe north. And we can get some other data here by scrolling down. Here's pressure. Again, clouds, that goes under conditions. Here's humidity. And that pretty much covers everything. So I'm going to show you how to find the history. So this is, I forgot to do my data. I got to go back and find previous days. You're going to use this tab, History. So once you click that, there's a specific spot you have to look, so I'm going to show you that first. Like I told you, it's going to go to the nearest city. Yours might say Baltimore. That's okay. History. Now I'm on this tab. This says daily. I'm going to keep it on daily. And this is today, so I'm just going to have you take a look. Some cool data tables showing you how the temperature, precipitation, wind speed has changed over time. A summary of today compared to historical averages. But this, ignoring the ads, this is where you want to look. Daily observations. If you're going back and filling in your data table days later, this is the data table you need. So I said that I wanted Tuesday the 4th. Tuesday the 5th, I'm sorry. I'm going to type in the 5th. I'm going to click View. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. Sometimes it'll say no data. It's lying to you. It just needs a second. Scrolling down to Daily Observations. Okay, so this is the 5th. I'm going to look for around the same time. So let's say that I'm going to try to collect data around noon every day. I'm going to look at this, maybe this 11:51 time. Okay, first thing to notice, at this particular time it says wind direction is blank. That's because the wind speed was low. That seems a little bit like a glitch. I'm going to borrow from this other column here. Wind speed around that time seemed like 8 or 9 miles per hour. So use your best judgment. It's okay. So again, I'm going to fill in my data table, so you're going to see me clicking back and forth. So first off, the time, 11:51 a.m., and at that time it was 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So here I go, 11:51 a.m., and you can adjust the font later. It's not going to be pretty at first. 59 degrees. I'll just copy and paste this little guy so I have my degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, air pressure, in. That means inches. One of the ways we can measure air pressure is inches. It's just a way of saying how much force. We don't really need to worry too much about the unit. So in my 11:51 a.m. time, I'm looking at my air pressure column and I see it was 29.88. Easy enough. This, I'm going to rely on the previous day. If I took data for Monday the 4th and that number, since Monday, let's pretend that Monday was 29.70. If I'm filling in today, the 5th, to me that number has gone up, so I'm going to add an up arrow, or you can type the word up, whatever you need to do. If you are doing this on paper, draw an up arrow. Next, for Tuesday the 5th, I need humidity. Humidity is going to be found in this column here, and at that time it was 29%. Now, like I said at the beginning, it depends on the temperature of the air to determine how much moisture it can hold. So humidity is going to change a lot throughout the day as the temperature changes. If we're looking at this, as the weather warms up and it gets warmer, that humidity is tending to go downward. It's not perfect, but it tends to happen that way. Humidity, 29%. I'll fill that in. Oops. Wind speed and wind direction. Wind speed, like I said, seems like it was probably close to 9. Just so I can put a number down, I'm going to say it was 9 going north. N for north. Last is weather conditions. Now, maybe you have a really good memory and you remember that on Tuesday the 5th it was a really nice sunny day. Or you can kind of look at this data table for the day and go, okay, what were the conditions? Fair usually means, think of it as like comfortable. Fair, cloudy. So I actually happen to remember, but that day it was nice and sunny. It was a little bit warm. There was a little bit of a breeze, at least by me. And that pretty much does it. If you had a thunderstorm that day, that would definitely be something to note, even if it's not happening at the exact same time as you collect your data. This space is really for you to just kind of log your direct observations that you're making with your eyes outside, and hopefully you're getting outside when the weather is nice. Okay, there's one day. I'm going to quickly do the 6th so you can see that, and that will be about it. So we're going to look at the 6th. I'm going to go back up to the top. I'm going to select May 6th. See, at first it didn't want to give me any data, but there it is. Scrolling down to observations. So, we're looking around the same time, and I think at 11:51 a.m. every day it's going to give me the same time. 11:51 a.m., 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Back into my data table. 52. My air pressure is going to be 29.71. Okay, now this is where the air pressure change comes in. To fill in this box, I'm going to look at today's compared to yesterday. Since yesterday, this number has gone down. It has decreased. So air pressure has dropped. Humidity, 11:51 a.m. I'm going to this column, 66%. Wind speed, 8 miles per hour from the east. And looking at conditions, cloudy, 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 light rain, light rain, light rain. Based on this, I think it was pretty breezy too, 10 to 13 mile per hour throughout the day. No wind gusts, meaning quick movements of air just brushing through, not the average wind speed. So I'm going to say it was probably cloudy, cool, and breezy, because low 50s is pretty cool. It's sweatshirt weather. You probably don't want to be outside for too long. Cloudy, breezy, cool. Some rain, question mark, because it really depends on where you are. So again, you don't have to spend a lot of time reformatting this. I'm going to lower the font size just so it fits in a little bit nicely. If you're doing this on paper, that's totally fine. If you're typing this in, really, you're just clicking in one of the cells and you are typing. Don't stress too much about the exact time. Again, just try to go for around the same time or the same 2-hour window or so. So at the end of week 10, so that gives you a lot of extra time here, you should have at least 5 days in this data table, 5 rows here, 5 of these rows here, same with week 8, same with week 9. Then you'll have week 10 to look at all of your data for weeks 6 through 9, and we will give you some questions and help you analyze and look closely at that data. If you have any questions, please feel free to email your science teacher. Make sure that you are addressing a polite email and that you have a specific question. And good luck, everybody!